Hey crafters, it's ArtsycraftsyPhoebe, and today I'll be showing you how I made 4 cards using these Chase Your Dreams framelits. I wanted to use this beautifully intricate die right here, and I wanted to stamp with it, so I die cut it out of fun foam, and this way I'll be able to stamp with this. I used this beautiful Dreamcatcher Thinlit die on a piece of black cardstock, and I'll be using this die cut piece on one of my cards later on. And I also used this Dream Framelit die on a piece of gold foil sheet. I mounted my fun foam die cut piece onto my block using temporary adhesive, and I'll start by creating my background pieces using this stamp from the Artisan textures and these circles from the Swirly frame stamp set. I'll be using 3 different shades of green for my cards: Tranquil Tide, Lemon Lime Twist, and Old Olive. Using my lightest shade, which is Lemon Lime Twist, I'm just going to stamp randomly onto a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm just basically creating my own piece of DSP. Next shade is the Old Olive, and I'll do the same thing. And then lastly, Tranquil Tide to cover up the blank spaces. And repeat on a new piece of Whisper White cardstock for my next background piece. Next, I'm stamping these circles, and the big circle I'm stamping using the Tranquil Tide ink pad. And then the smaller circle I'll be stamping in Old Olive. And here's one finished background piece. Moving on to the next one, I'll be using my fun foam die cut piece, and I'll be stamping it randomly in Old Olive. And this is my second background piece. For my third piece, I'm using 3 different shades of blue this time, and I'm starting with the lightest, being the Pool Party. For my midtone, I'm using Tempting Turquoise, and then for my last shade, I'm using Dapper Denim. And then for the small circle, I'm using Tempting Turquoise. And then back to Pool Party for the big circle. And here are my finished background pieces. Aren't they fun? So now to turn them into cards, I'm using this sentiment from Colorful Seasons, and I'll be using this background piece right here and my stamp apparatus. I'm inking it with my black ink pad and making sure that I have a nice crisp image, so I stamped it twice. Next, I layer this on top of a piece of Tranquil Tide cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And then glue down my Dreamcatcher using my fine tip glue pen. Lastly, I just added the string that holds up my Dreamcatcher using a black marker. And that is card number 1. Now before I move on to my second background piece, I have to do a little bit of heat embossing for my third card. So I just prep my Whisper White cardstock using my embossing body, and I'm stamping my 2 circles with my Versamark ink. And then I used my gold embossing powder and then set this using my heat tool. After looking at it, I decided it needed 1 more circle. And then here I have 2 pieces of die cut feathers using the same framelit set, and I've colored them using my watercolor pencils and my aqua painter. And then I've also covered it in Wink of Stella for a little bit of shimmer. And then here I've die cut 2 pieces of feather out of my background piece, and I'm gonna inlay my brown feathers in these holes. And I'll be using the cutout feathers on my third card. And I'm simply taping these feathers at the back. I have a Dream die cut piece out of basic black cardstock that I'll be using for my third card as well. And now I'm just adhering my pieces using my fine tip glue pen. And of course, I can't forget the shimmer. Now I've trimmed my background piece to be a bit smaller, and I'm layering this against a Tranquil Tide piece and a Whisper White card base. And I'm just adding some ribbon for a little bit of embellishment, and this ribbon is from the metallic ribbon combo pack. And card number 2 is done. For my third card, I'm just layering this on top of a Tranquil Tide card base. And then just adding some iridescent sequins for embellishment. And that's my third card. Alright, on to my final card. I have my die cut pieces here, my dream catcher and 3 feathers, and they are die cut out of Whisper White and Night of Navy cardstock for a bit of shadow. And the same goes for my dream die cut piece. Now I thought that the white was too stark against my background, so I'm just coloring them in using my watercolor pencil and my aqua painter. And yes, you guessed it, my Wink of Stella. Now I'm just layering my background piece against a pool party card base, and then it's just a matter of gluing down my pieces. And that is my fourth and final card. And here are the rest of my cards again. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, crafters, and I hope I was able to give you some ideas on how to use the wonderful new items from our new catalog. See you next time. Bye!